watching East Tennessee Weather, powered by Rusty Wallace Automotive Group.
And good morning. We finally made it to Thursday. Today's Wake Up with Witcher is sponsored by East Tennessee Renovations, LLC. They are a family-owned and operated residential remodeling company specializing in kitchen and bathroom renovations. What are you looking at? Or what you're looking at now are some kitchen renovations. They do an amazing job. They take pride in their communication and scheduling skills, cleanliness on the job, and overall customer satisfaction. Listen, their goal is to make the project as most hassle-free as possible. Cleaning everything up after themselves, trying to be as least impactful to you, your family, and your daily life. Because we know when you get into renovations, it is a mess. Trust me, I've been there, done that. They're very passionate about accessibility. Actually, they are certified agent in place specialists, meaning they can help you widen your doorways, remove transitions, create easier access to your kitchens and or bathrooms. So give my friends at East Tennessee Renovations a call today at 865-233-3657 for a free consultation, or visit them online at easttnrenovations.com. That's easttnrenovations.com if you're looking for a hassle-free kitchen or bathroom update. They are the sponsor of Wake Up with Witcher as we get this Thursday started. Let's go and take you outside. Beautiful sunrise taking shape here this morning. That's a live look from Maryville to get the day started. Is that not just a gorgeous view? That is like one of my most favorite views around East Tennessee. Looking off to the southeastern sky. Now notice the clouds have increased, and so that's given us a nice sunrise this morning. Got some other great live views there for you from Hardin Valley. We've got the mid-level clouds hanging out with us at this hour. We'll take you to downtown Gatlinburg, pointed right down to the street. Not a lot of activity there, but how about this beautiful sunrise from Sevierville? Current temperature now in Sevier County is mid to upper 30s for the most part. Taking a Look Rock in the higher elevations here at this hour, and gorgeous view up on top of the mountains. That's Look Rock with a temperature of 49. What does that tell us? That tells us we have an inversion taking place here this morning. So it's colder in the low-lying sheltered areas than it is across the foothills and some of the mountain locations. Purchase Knob is looking beautiful with a current temperature of 40, and a little bit chillier there at Newfound Gap with a current temperature now of 37 degrees. Let's take you outside and show you what it looks like on the TDOT SmartWay cameras. That's a live look there at West Hills and Interstate 40. Just looked at the traffic here this morning, and everything is running smoothly. It's Thursday. That's nice. Are you enjoying the warm weather? Wasn't yesterday just absolutely picture perfect? We had the sunshine, we had the warm weather, we had the few high thin clouds hanging out with us, and that was the story. Now, today's story is going to be a little different. While it's still going to be on the warm side, we're talking about increasing wind and rain later on today. Showers overnight tonight, breezy at times, dry on Friday with mild temperatures. So Friday is going to be a fantastic day. But here's some minor tweaks of the forecast, my friends. Falling temperatures on Saturday. Light rain. And do I dare say that four-letter S word this morning? Some light snow may be falling across the higher elevations of East Tennessee. I'll explain details. Let's get to work and get you off to work and off to school here this morning. Go back to that map here. Again, temperatures this morning are trending much warmer than what they were yesterday. It actually feels pretty nice outside, so a light jacket will be necessary, but we're running anywhere from 10 to 20, 25 degrees warmer than what we were yesterday morning. When you look at the numbers, we're currently in the 40s and 50s. Not a bad start to the day. Listen, average highs for this time of year are in the low 50s. We're about 10 degrees shy of that right now in Knoxville, and it's only 7:04 in the morning. So as we head through the day today, we're going to see those lunchtime temperatures pushing the low 60s. Great lunch hour. Now, I'd say a patio day, but as long as you're in the sunlight, but I don't think we're going to have a ton of sun today because the clouds will be increasing. We'll have sunshine for sure, but the clouds are going to be increasing throughout the evening hours as this cold front approaches. But it's going to be rather breezy and gusty as we get into the lunch hour. Into the evening hours, those showers will start to pick up around East Tennessee. So the National Weather Service has actually issued a wind advisory. This runs until midnight tonight. We're talking winds across the highest peaks of the Smokies, pushing about 45, 50 miles per hour. They're going to be out of the south and southwest, actually. And in the valley locations, you can see how those winds are going to start cranking as we get closer to lunchtime. And so it is going to be rather breezy and gusty. Again, southwesterly winds, which when we get a southwesterly wind here in East Tennessee, and look at what it does to our temperatures. It helps boost them up. So we're going to be in the low, mid, and upper 60s, maybe even a couple pockets of 70s. So I saw Lee on here already this morning. Lee, I don't know if you have a hook or a slice, but if you do, the wind may help you. depending, of course, which hole you're on. It is going to be a tough travel day because those winds are out of the southwest. So anybody traveling along Interstate 40, and you drive or travel in a high-profile vehicle, anybody that drives a semi-trucks, it's going to bounce you around just a little bit. Not too terribly windy per se, but definitely on the breezy side. So you can see how we have the clouds in place here this morning. The clouds are going to be with us as we get into the lunchtime hour. Kids heading home from school, we're going to be on the dry side, so no issues there. Heading into the evening rush hour, well, here comes some rain. Now, most of us will likely stay dry through about sundown tonight, but notice how we're going to start to see some scattered light rain showers through about 7 o'clock tonight. So when you look at the rainfall forecast through 7, not a lot. Western Valley, Cumberland Plateau. Saw Stephanie on here. She's from Cumberland County, so you could have some light rain showers as we get into the sunset hour in Crossville, Cumberland County, and the plateau itself. As we get into the evening hours, those temperatures will stay nice and comfortable. Now, again, we're going to be tracking in those rain showers. So anytime after sundown, the showers start to fill on into the area. And we have a little bit of instability in the atmosphere. What does that mean? That means that we could see a couple of isolated thunderstorms. No severe weather threat whatsoever. And we're not there yet. Thank goodness for that. All right, so let's pick up our timeline at 7 o'clock here tonight. Notice the showers continuing to work their way on through the area. We're going to see moderate to heavier showers as we get it closer to midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and maybe a few lingering showers across the mountain counties as we get into the sunrise hour, the morning rush hour on Friday. But hey, that means it's Friday, and that's a good thing. Rainfall amounts through Friday morning. Generally speaking, we've been talking about this. This has fluctuated back and forth a little bit, but the general idea is about a half an inch of rainfall tonight through tomorrow morning. Some may get a little bit less, some may get a little bit more, but the general idea is about a half an inch of rain. Because we'll have the wind with us, we'll have the clouds in place, we'll have the rain showers. It's going to be another mild start tomorrow morning. We'll start off in the 40s and the 50s. Now, through the day tomorrow, the skies will clear. So we'll just call it partly cloudy in general tomorrow. We will have some sunshine. It is going to be warm and still a little breezy, but not as nearly as gusty as it will be throughout the day today. But hang on to your hats, my friends. Here comes another disturbance in the northwesterly flow. Little wave in the atmosphere. Look at Saturday morning. I'm not showing you this, am I? It's not spring yet. It is still winter, my friends. And Old Man Winter says, hold on, people, hold on. It's still my season. So we could have a few light flurries early Saturday morning across the Cumberland Plateau that transitions into a little bit of snow across the highest peaks of the Smokies as we head through the day on Saturday. No snowfall here in the valley, and I don't think that we'll see a lot of rain per se. The atmosphere is pretty dry in the low level, so if we see any, maybe a couple light showers or a couple sprinkles, and I think that's going to be about the extent of it. But we have colder air aloft, and that's going to help to transition some of this moisture into the form of some light snow. So I'm going to go flurries on the Cumberland Plateau, 1 to 2 inches across the highest peaks of the Smokies, and maybe a light dusting up into parts of Greene and Washington counties. Boone, North Carolina, could see maybe a light dusting of snow, but I'm not expecting a whole lot of snow. Not a huge snowmaker, just a fast-moving system in the northwest flow. But temperatures have changed on Saturday. We'll likely have an early high temperature in the low, mid, and upper 40s. But temperatures will fall pretty quickly as we get into the afternoon hours. And wind chill values on Saturday, probably in the upper 30s to low 40s pretty much all day long. So Saturday is going to be a cold, raw, winter-like day with a chance for those light mountain snow showers. 3-day forecast, we're going to see those temperatures in the 60s today and tomorrow, mid-40s as we head into our Saturday. Don't worry about the wording. That wording is wrong. I apologize. All right. Hey, by the way, had a chance to head out to Morristown just the other day. I talked about that. Hadn't had a chance to get the pictures on the air, but get a big shout out to Manley Elementary School in Morristown. Look at the sign they made me. How cool is that? These kids were awesome. They were third graders. And I think I mentioned it yesterday. There's always 1 or 2 kids in a class that always are just brilliant kids. And I'm sure teachers out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Not saying all the kids aren't smart. There's always one that's just above and beyond the rest of them. And there was one little girl in this group that just was brilliant. She had her notepad. She was taking notes on what I was saying. She is like your classic top straight A student kind of person. But then, of course, we had a good time taking a fun photo. This was kind of our fun. This was our fun photo, if you will. And, of course, wouldn't be possible without all the teachers. That girl on the bottom left-hand side of the screen, remember I told you I went to the National Weather Service? And I saw my good friend Anthony over there. That is her dad. He works for the National Weather Service. He does forecasting. He does a lot of the PR work with the TV stations and all the ham radio operators and whatnot. And so, it was kind of cool to see. So she's a student teacher there, but all the other teachers, definitely great. So Rebecca Skeen, the one from the second from the left, she has been teaching at that school. She went to that elementary school when she was a kid, and she's been teaching there for a very, very long time. Rebecca, I won't tell how long you've been teaching. And she was a doll, so she's the one who sent me this photo. And then yesterday, I haven't gotten the pictures on. We'll talk about this tomorrow, but yesterday I had a chance to go to Walland Elementary School, and I talked to, I think, 3rd through 5th grade. So we had a big crew over there. Realized that I had not been over to that school for 12 years. It was 2012 was the last time I went to Wallen Elementary School. So those pictures will be coming up on social later on today, and we'll talk about it tomorrow morning on the broadcast. But on my way home, I happened to hand deliver some merchandise. This is Jerry. Jerry also is the owner of Volunteer Home Mortgage. And she is an advertiser with us here on East Tennessee Weather. So, Jerry, good morning to you. She purchased an East Tennessee Weather umbrella. She opened it up. And she was like, man, this thing is big. I was like, I know. It's awesome. You'll never get wet underneath that thing. So, of course, we had to take a fun photo because why not? That's what it's all about, right? So, it was so good to head off to the schools. I've got some more school visits coming up next week. So, we'll be highlighting that in the coming days. Anybody have travel plans around the region? Here's how the forecast plays out. Heading into the evening hours and overnight. This is midnight tonight. You can see how the cold front's going to be swinging its way through the area. So that cold front's going to slice its way on through, and that's going to bring us some drier weather for our Friday. But here comes our next little wave in the atmosphere, and that next wave is going to dive its way to the south and southeast. So like I said, generally speaking around the region, we'll likely pick up about a half an inch of rainfall with this storm tonight into tomorrow morning. Forecast highs around the region. It's going to be a beaut. We're talking 60s and 70s. This, my friends, is what it's all about. But here comes this trough. Watch how the temperatures change from Friday into Saturday. Yeah, a bit of a cool down, if you will. But it's short-lived. It's a quick little cold snap because Sunday will warm things up nicely. Now, those rain chances will be with us tonight and tomorrow, but the only reason why I have 30% is because it's going to be minimal impact to our lives. Sunday, Monday will be on the dry side, and then next week we're looking at more wet weather to return. We're also looking at more thunderstorms, and we're also looking at warmer temperatures. When you look at your temperature trend, which I'll highlight in a second, I think you'll like these temps, but maybe not the rain. All right, so when I talk about mid-level energy and spin in the atmosphere, this is a wave in the atmosphere. Watch how this next wave that is going to produce the colder air and the mountain snow showers on Saturday. It just dives its way in, and as fast as it moves in, it moves its way on out. So here's that future cast. Picking up our timeline tonight, and you run it into time, and this is running at turtle pace. I thought I changed the timing on that, but apparently I did not. Oh, here it is. All right, so snow's going to break out across parts of Kentucky, Southwest Virginia, a few flurries on the plateau, and some light mountain snow showers again. No major travel concerns. Temperatures take a nosedive on Saturday, but we rebound very, very quickly back into the 60s and 70s next week. Next week is going to feel great, a nice spring feel. The coldest morning comes through Saturday and Sunday morning. Temperatures down into the 20s and 30s. Sunday morning is going to be on the chilly side. But as we look ahead over time, remember I've been talking about this, and I try to highlight this as much as possible, but the Climate Prediction Center is predicting the possibility of above average temperatures to round out the month of February, and likely the case for the first week of March. As it stands right now, no major severe weather threat, but we'll see what these storm systems do next week. But at this point of the game, maybe we're into March like a lamb. Does that mean that we're out like a lion? Remember I talked about yesterday the fact that we had a meeting with the National Weather Service and how we were talking about El Nino and how El Nino is playing out. Well, here's the information on that. El Nino is weakening, okay? When you look at El Nino, La Nina, and neutral years, we've had more neutral years over the grand scheme of things, okay? But we go from El Nino and start to transition towards a more neutral season. What does that mean for severe weather? Well, in El Nino years, we typically get less severe weather, less tornadoes. That's good. La Nina, we get a little bit more tornadic activity and a little bit more active weather. But it's the neutral years that are very active, and we get a lot more tornadoes to generate in a neutral year. So the question was to the National Weather Service, as we transition from an El Nino, do we get into that neutral zone temporarily, which would elevate our severe weather season? And that is a possibility. But what does that mean? That means our severe weather season may be delayed just a little bit. So typically we'd see it in March and April, but maybe it's going to be more April-May timeframe for our severe weather season. Remember, Severe Weather Awareness Week is coming up starting Sunday. I'll be talking about that from Storm Spotters training. If you've ever wanted to become a storm spotter for the National Weather Service, there is a class for that. They are free. You have to sign up for them. I will be posting those on social media as they come out and about. And also, we are going to be talking about lightning safety, tornado safety, severe weather safety, the difference between a watch and a warning. So I will be highlighting that on Wake Up with Witcher, on social media, and on the 24-hour channel, along with YouTube, as we get into Severe Weather Awareness Week, which does start Sunday. And we wrap it up, Severe Weather Awareness Week, with the NOAA Weather Radio. If you don't have a NOAA Weather Radio, it's the voice of the National Weather Service when you're literally not paying attention. Now, I know it's a little bit outdated technology based on what we have with our cell phones, right? But so many of folks actually turn off their notifications. I have friends that have downloaded the East Tennessee Weather app that have actually turned off the notifications. And I'm like, well, you're not going to get any lightning information. You're not going to get severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings with the East Tennessee Weather app. So I would highly recommend turning on your notifications for the East Tennessee Weather app, because you will get notified at any time a watch or warnings issued by the National Weather Service. Anytime I were to go live for severe weather as we get into severe weather season. But some interesting stuff. So El Nino is weakening as it stands right now. Does that increase our severe weather season, but delayed just a little bit? Only time will tell, my friends. All right, if you got all the information you needed to know, whether you're joining us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube, or all the East Tennessee weather platforms, you can have a great day. Enjoy the sun, enjoy the warmer weather, but remember it's going to be breezy, a little gusty today, and then rain increases tonight into tomorrow, and there's a chance for some mountain snow showers on Saturday and some chillier weather. All right, for those that want to stick around for a little bit of the chat this morning, grab your cup of coffee. It's time for some coffee talk right here in East Tennessee weather. So grab your cup of coffee, tea, whatever your drink of choice is here this morning, and let's have a conversation, shall we? Let me moisten my lips here. A little espresso, a double espresso this morning. Black. It's strong. Strong like bull. All right. Who's on here? Anybody got any questions for me this morning? Anybody have any questions? I don't know if Tom's on here from TK Gourmet. Is he on here? Not seen him on here yet, but if he is, hopefully he had a good event yesterday and sold all of his food. Oh, yeah. Anybody else's phone's not working? Do you have AT&T? Good luck. I got in this morning. I was like, oh, no. Did our bill not get paid? For some, it's on auto draft, but maybe there was a glitch and they shut our phones down. I was getting the SOS. So if you have AT&T, you do not have cell phone service as of right now. You're only going to get cell phone service or be able to text or whatnot if you're on Wi-Fi. Who has AT&T on here? Yeah, there we go. Robert's saying a huge phone outage across the U.S. That's exactly it. I am AT&T. Boo. My wife's job depends on text messages from the hospitals as she travels around East Tennessee. She is a PIC nurse, and she's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't get messages. I don't know either. What do you do in a situation like that? I don't know. Stephanie says, good morning from North Crossville. No snow. Spring is teasing us, Stephanie. It always teases us this time of the year. We get these nice, warm, sunny days, and then bam! Old Man Winter says, hold on a second, people. I'm not done. Like I said earlier, this is my season. Although I don't think that we have any major cold Arctic outbreaks or anything like that for the rest of the season. So that's good news to pass along. And it's going to be short-lived. Let's see. Bucks pumping in the Knoxville Municipal Golf Course. Is it the GOAT golf course? Are you a big golfer, Buck? Maybe we'll have to. Maybe you, me, and Lee can go hit the golf course one day. I'm better sipping on some cold beverages than I am playing golf, and I don't have any golf clubs. I don't really want to purchase any golf clubs. They'll just sit in the corner for a while. But maybe one day we can all hit the golf course together. Melissa says it feels great in Scott County this morning. Yeah, it does. Temperatures are in the 40s. Let's see. What are we saying? We're all talking about the phone outage this morning. Irvin, good morning from Kodak. We've got Tammy on here from Washburn. And thank you, Tammy, for the nice compliments this morning. Buck says, snow, go away. Come back next December. Buck, that doesn't rhyme. Come on, you could have done better than that. Go away, come back another day. Oh, it is, my friends. It is coming back another day. Oh, let's see. Go away, come back next December. No March blizzards like 1993 ever again. Nightmare in 93. Yes, it was. Although it didn't last as long as our snowstorm in January, but it definitely created a bigger mess around the area because it was considered a blizzard, and our last snowstorm was not a blizzard. We got Bobby Johnson on here. Lee's on here. Donna, good morning. No more snow, please, she says. Yeah, I think we're, when we start to warm up a little bit, it's hard to get those, I don't want it to get colder either on Saturday. Awful, right? No, let's go. I like this warmer weather. So Super El Nino did happen for a brief period of time, Buck. He said Super El Nino. So here's the deal, though. Super El Nino is weakening. The only reason it was a Super El Nino is because we just kind of crossed over that normal El Nino criteria just for a little bit of time. But it is weakening now, which means that we're getting a little bit of cooling in the equatorial waters. But you got to realize when it takes a while from when the waters change to the atmosphere reacting to that change in the water. It doesn't happen instantaneous. And so as we start to see El Nino weakening, does that mean that we have a delayed severe weather season? Possibly. Because if it happened instantaneous, which the atmosphere is so big, nothing's instantaneous, right? When I talk about these low clouds on a cold winter day that are going to gradually clear, it's a process. The atmosphere is so massive. So massive. So it takes a little bit of time. So we'll see how it all plays out. But listen, I'll take a delayed severe weather season versus, and maybe hopefully a weaker severe weather season. Let's hope that El Nino doesn't weaken too much, goes into the neutral phase, which would elevate or ramp up our severe weather season. And the National Weather Service, we asked them some great questions yesterday. Hasta la vista, Buck. Have a great day, Ben. Asked him if he was going to go into some more data about that transition zone from between El Nino and neutral, and he said he was. So he's going to go dive into the details. When that information comes out, I'll pass that along. So hopefully that will help to progress the conversation about what our severe weather season could look like. Of course, it's weather. It's funny when I talk to the kids, I tell you guys all this all the time that when I go talk to schools, one of the questions I ask them, one of the very first questions I ask them is, is weather important to know? And they all say yes. And we ask why. And it's, so we can stay on top of what we wear and what's going on in the atmosphere. But I also ask them, does weather affect everybody in the world? And it's always a 50-50 yes or no. And then we start going into the conversation of, well, why do you think that weather doesn't affect everybody in the world? Well, it's hot somewhere and cold somewhere else, or it's rain somewhere, it's dry somewhere else. Well, right, but is that all weather? And once we break it down and really get them to think and critically think, they're like, oh yeah, geez, weather is like, it's the number one topic of conversation among adults. It's the one thing that we all have in common. We all sound different, we all look different, we all dress differently. But we all have to deal with the weather every day. Now, we all perceive it differently, depending on where you are from in the country, depending on how long you've lived here in East Tennessee. We all perceive it differently. But We all have to deal with the weather. Tom says, yeah, you're right. You can also take the Skywarn Storm Spotter class online. So that's good. So if you've always wanted to become a storm spotter, and let me throw this out there. If you are a storm spotter with the National Weather Service, I'm going to start going to some of these meetings so I can introduce myself to some of these folks, because the National Weather Service won't give me any of their names, which I get. A little privacy policy there. But if I go there, my goal is to build a storm spotter program. And I was talking to the National Weather Service the other day when I was there, and I said, this is what I want to do. Anybody that's part of your program, I want them to become part of my program. So when we do severe weather, if you are a storm spotter, let's connect. I want to get your cell phone number. Let's get connected through Zoom. And that way, when severe weather moves in, I will bring you to the broadcast. And you can help drive the conversation. Hey, if you live in Powell and you say, hey, listen, we just got some quarter-size hail in here. It was nasty. Trees are down. That's the conversation I want with you. So if you are a storm spotter, hit me up, mike@easttnweather.com. Let me know that you're a storm spotter. Let's gather storm spotters together for the East Tennessee Weather Product. And that way we will all help each other out even more so, because it takes the ground truth. It takes the storm spotters on the ground, folks on the ground, boots on the ground, right? To really let us know exactly what's happening in all the communities around East Tennessee. So if you've ever wanted to become a storm spotter, there are classes and virtual classes, and also online and in-person classes. Just go to the National Weather Service's website, the Morristown one, and you have to sign up if you want to go in person, by the way, just so they can gauge of how many people are going to show up. There's only so much room. You get a certificate that you are now officially a storm spotter, and then I want your information as well. So if you're interested, anyways, of becoming part of East Tennessee Weather as a storm spotter, so we can help our community out, so we can help the National Weather Service out. So let's make that happen. So let me know if you are a storm spotter, want to become a storm spotter with a Skywarn Storm Spotter program with the National Weather Service. Let's get that going. There are so many weather nuts around East Tennessee, around the world, really. Why? Because weather's awesome. Well, sometimes not so awesome, but it is fascinating, isn't it? Let's see. What else we got here? Anybody else? Anybody want to become part of the Storm Spotter program? Would anybody like to become part of the Storm Spotter program with East Tennessee Weather? Let me know. Hit me up. I'll start compiling names. Send me your phone numbers. And send me your email addresses or ways to contact you. And so let's start compiling that Storm Spotter program together if you are interested, because I will pull you onto the broadcast during severe weather season. Whether we do FaceTime, whether we do Zoom, super easy to do, and we'll get that going with East Tennessee Weather. Time change. How many more days till the time change? I will tell you. So, here it is right here, my friends. Right there. 17 days. 17 days. Counting down. 24 days till St. Patrick's Day. And I told my wife I've always wanted a party for St. Patrick's Day, so I'm going to throw a party. Corned beef and cabbage. I love corned beef and cabbage. And I like St. Patrick's Day. Good old glass of Guinness, some dark beer, a stout, and some corned beef and cabbage. Nothing's better than that. Charlie, you got some clubs I can borrow? You want to hit the golf course with me? Let's do it, Charlie. Charlie's on here. Miss you, buddy. If you ever figure out how to get that camera in your community and on your farm there, Charlie, let me know. We've got some cameras sitting back here that could go to use, you know. And we need to get together for a brewski. How about that? Let's see here. What else we got going on here? Nathan's going skiing on Saturday to Cataloochee. Nice, buddy. We have not been skiing this year. Such a Debbie Downer. Such a Debbie Downer. I hate going through a season not skiing. But life is busy right now, my friend. And Nathan, when are we getting together? You coming to the meet and greet, bud? March 8th, 6 to 8, Orange Hat Brewing in Hardin Valley. That's the Orange Hat West brewery. Bobby says, I should do that. Storm Spotter. I'm a weather geek for sure. Then if you are, hit me up. I'll get you everything that you need to know. And then let's get to work. Anyone use Radar Scope that report through that? Yes, I do. I'm a Storm Spotter as well. seems to be appropriate, right? And I do use Radar Scope on my phone, but of course I use the East Tennessee Weather app as well. Radar Scope's more of a professional use of a radar. It's great, but there's so many different elements from the radar products, so many different radar products on there that so many don't know. I've had to teach my wife how to use it. But the East Tennessee Weather app's great because it actually shows you that future cast of 2 hours to give you a better idea of how things are playing up. So again, if you want to become part of the East Tennessee Weather Storm Spotter program or the National Weather Storm Spotter program, hit me up. I'll give you all the information that you need to know. Bobby, hit me up. Email me, mike@easttnweather.com. Let me know. Give me all the information. And then let's get you on the broadcast. And then we'll introduce you. Maybe we can get together and say, hey, listen, this is Bobby Johnson. He lives here. He's going to become an East Tennessee storm spotter for us, East Tennessee weather storm spotter for us. And so for severe weather season, he'll join us for the broadcast. And you don't have to have a face for TV, folks. I don't even have a face for TV. I don't even have a voice for TV. But here I am, 24 years later, been on TV. Charlie says, I got a great place for a camera. I know you do. If you're talking about your farm, Charlie, I know you do. But we got to run some Ethernet, bud. So let's figure that out together because you have a beautiful, beautiful farm in northwest Knox County. It is amazing. Cheryl's going to be making some corned beef and cabbage. She's not even Irish. I'm not either. Well, I probably have some heritage somewhere down the lineage of Irish in me. But Tammy's birthday's on St. Patty's Day. And guess what? I don't even have a green screen. So guess what I can wear on St. Patty's Day? Green. Never been able to do that on the weather walls with a green screen. I do make corned beef and cabbage. This year, I may try to sous vide my corned beef and cabbage. We'll see. I usually pressure cook it. But this year, I may do it differently. I don't know. Barbara says, I did the class a long time ago. I think I can do it again. You should do it again, Barbara. Men and women alike, children and adults, join us. Tom sent me an email. Cool. I'll get back to you later on this morning. Jorge says, are you still planning on having merchandise at your event, the meet and greet at Orange Hat, 68 March 8th? Yes, I am. It is ordered. So now they're just fulfilling the order for me. And it's February 22nd, so a couple weeks, should have it. I'll have umbrellas, T-shirts, and hats. I'm working on trying to get those mugs. I got to try to design the mugs today. Hopefully I'll get that done today. And maybe we'll have some coffee mugs or some tumblers or whatnot. I'm not quite sure I'll have those for the meet and greet. But I will be getting those online soon. I'm still working with my web company to try to get that online. Tom says the Storm Spotter certificate is good for 2 years. Well, that means mine has now officially expired. So maybe I'll go take the class and recertify my Storm Spotter card. Oh, man. Lee, I got your email. Just came through. I saw it. This is awesome. This is so cool because I'm telling you, my friends, when we get into severe weather season, you're going to see a totally different platform from what you've ever seen me do for severe weather coverage. And the more we get you on board for Storm Spotter information, it is going to flow so much better. We'll have way more information to pass along to you. We'll have way more information to pass along to the Weather Service. We'll have way more information to keep us all in the know during severe weather. And so we are going to create a totally different environment than what you've ever seen with severe weather coverage. So again, if you're just now tuning in, I've seen numbers go up here on the platform, and you want to become a storm spotter for the National Weather Service or for East Tennessee Weather, hit me up, mike@easttnweather.com, and I will pass that information along to you. All right, let's jump back to the forecast here for the day today. Again, temperatures are nice and mild here this morning. When you look at your temperature trend over the next 7 days, the big cool downs on Saturday, wind chill values will likely be in the 30s for most of the day. Now, through the day today, it's a great day. We start off mild. It's going to be warm. It's going to be breezy. It's going to have that nice feel to the air. But as these temperatures come up, here comes the allergies, right? The pollen's going to start to increase here over the next couple of weeks. So if you are an allergy pill taker, popping those pills, baby, start popping them. I need to start doing that myself. Do as I say, not as I do. No, do as I, yeah, you know the phrase. Do as I say, not as I do. Something like that. Well, I need to do, and I need to quit saying. Forecast highs from Chattanooga to the Tri-Cities, the Cumberland Plateau, and everywhere in between will be in the mid to upper 60s for the most part. Maybe some low 60s for the plateau. We are looking at those winds to be on the increase. So here's your timeline. Winds are relatively light this morning. These are wind gusts. And so this isn't sustained winds. These are just gusts throughout the day. So we could see those winds gusting at times, 25 to 30 miles per hour in the valley. But as that cold front approaches, look at this. The wind's going to be on the increase across the highest peaks of the Smokies, where we do have a wind advisory that goes into effect at 10 o'clock this morning, and it runs until midnight tonight. So some stronger winds, up to about 50 miles per hour across the highest peaks of the Smokies. Now remember, this is going to usher in the rain. So rainfall tonight through tomorrow morning, generally speaking, about a half an inch. Everybody's getting wet tonight after we go to bed. But remember, the rain doesn't really start to increase until about 5, 6, 7 o'clock here tonight. And then it will really increase as we go off to bed and as we head into the midnight and early overnight hours. And then on Saturday, as I showed you, temperatures fall into the 40s. Got another little system diving its way in from the northwest, and that is going to produce maybe a few flurries on the plateau. Highest peaks of the Smokies will get a 1 to 2, maybe a dusting up closer to the higher elevations in the mountains. Bobby, I just got your email. Thanks for sending that out. So as we highlight that weekend forecast, Saturday is going to be chilly and blustery with a high of only 45, but wind chill values in the 30s. We will see maybe a couple sprinkles in the valley locations, but the atmosphere in the low levels is pretty dry. So I'm not expecting a lot of moisture in the valley. Maybe a few showers, a couple of sprinkles, but it should be rather overcast and gray, especially across the mountain counties. We'll kind of ring out the atmosphere with some mountain snow showers. And that really is going to be about the extent of it. Remember, if you do want to order some merch, just like Jerry did, and so many of you have, Tammy has, she's ordered T-shirts and umbrellas. You can just message me at mike@easttnweather.com. Tell me your size, your color. I do have umbrellas, but not right now. So for those of you that reached out for umbrellas, if you can come to the meet and greet, I'll have those there. If you can't, contact me and we'll try to get that taken care of here in the next short while. It is 7:37. I do have a meeting with the school for my kid here this morning coming up here in just a few minutes. So I am going to have to end the broadcast early, but you guys are all amazing for sure. Thanks for the conversation this morning. Thanks for those of you that have already emailed me about becoming a storm spotter for East Tennessee Weather. It is going to become a group of us. We are a community, and that is what East Tennessee Weather is all about. I will send you back to the 24-hour Weather Channel for a brief moment of time. For those that I see are still coming on, I see the population increasing a little bit here or there. Hopefully you got the information that you need for the day. It's going to be warm. It's going to be windy. Rain increases later on tonight. Cold on Saturday. More rain, but definitely above average temperatures by nearly 20 degrees as we head into next week. We'll head off to a quick check-in on our sponsors here. From Knoxville Window and Doors to Mike Stevens Homes. This is the Mike Stevens Home Studio. And, of course, Rusty Wallace Automotive Group. They have been the huge sponsors of us here with East Tennessee Weather. If you have photos, don't forget to upload those through the East Tennessee Weather app under Witcher's Pictures. And if you always want your weather on the go, check out the daily forecast updated every day at 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. YouTube, website, and the East Tennessee Weather app. Have a great day, my friends. Be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short.
When you're ready for replacement windows, we offer high-quality, energy-efficient windows in many styles and colors. We want to help you improve your home's curb appeal. Free in-home estimate with upfront prices. No games or gimmicks. No high-pressure sales tactics. Double hung, picture, slider, casement, and architectural shapes. We offer them all. We've got a window for every home and a window for every budget.
Hey folks, it's Brian from Rusty Wallace Key on Alcoa Highway. We're kicking off the new year right. You'll save more than ever before in 2024. The price won't be the problem with deals like these. Get rates as low as 0.9%. Get $7,000 over KBB value for your trade. Plus, every new Kia comes with Rusty's exclusive, no-charge 200,000-mile warranty. And don't forget, the price will not be the problem at Rusty Wallace Kia on Alcoa Highway.
You're watching East Tennessee Weather, powered by Rusty Wallace Automotive Group.
Good morning. Have a great Thursday, everybody. It's going to be a warm and, well, breezy, gusty day around East Tennessee, especially across the mountains where we have a wind advisory. I'll talk about that here in just a moment. Showers will increase later on this evening during the early overnight hours. It's going to be dry on Friday, but here's the deal. Some changes on the way for Saturday. Falling temperatures, some light rain, and some light snow showers across the higher terrain. The mountains and the plateau may see a few flurries to 1 to 2 inches of snowfall. So the forecast for the day ahead of us today, we start off nice and mild. It feels pretty good outside this morning. We'll climb into the low 60s by lunchtime. The clouds will increase. Rain increases as we get into the evening hours. Evening commute, dinner, and bedtime, we'll start to see some rain showers. But it is going to be warm and breezy. So we do have a wind advisory for the mountains that runs until midnight tonight. The winds are going to be gusting here in the valley as well as the mountains. Now in the valley, about 20 to 30 miles per hour, but in the mountains, we're going to see those winds gusting to about 50 miles per hour or so. Now, this is going to help to boost our temperatures, though, in the low, mid, upper 60s, maybe even a few pockets of low 70s. So another beautiful day, but the clouds will be on the increase, so not nearly as much sunshine as what we saw on our Wednesday. So the clouds are on the increase, the winds on the increase. By 3 o'clock today, kids heading home from school, we're smooth sailing. No problems whatsoever. For the evening rush hour, maybe a few scattered rain showers across the western valley and the plateau, but not a ton of rain at that point. Forecast rainfall amounts all the way through 7 o'clock here tonight. You can see, going to be on the light side through 7 o'clock, but it will change after 7 o'clock tonight. As we get into our evening hours, temperatures will stay nice and mild. We're going to be in the mid-60s by 6, upper 50s by 8. Showers and maybe a few rumbles of thunder as we get into the 10 o'clock hour tonight, as temperatures begin to fall into the upper 50s, but still a nice evening ahead. We're going to walk you through the rest of that futurecast, talk about how much more rainfall we could see with the storm coming through tonight, and your 3-day forecast, which indicates the cold weather we're expecting on Saturday. More on that coming up in just about 5 minutes or so. All right, let's go and pick up our timeline at 7 o'clock here tonight. Remember, through 7 o'clock, it's going to be breezy, gusty as the wind increases and this cold front approaches. The cold front's going to spill in the rain as we get past bedtime tonight, and some decent rain in some locations around the area. So it's going to make for a rather soggy start to our Friday morning. We may be hanging on to a few scattered showers across the mountain counties as we wake up and get our Friday morning started. But rainfall amounts, we've been talking about this all week. Generally speaking, we're talking about a half an inch of rain. Some a little bit less, some a little bit more. But the general idea is that we're going to pick up about a half an inch in most locations. Now, we start Friday morning off on the mild side. We'll be in the 40s and the 50s. And actually, Friday's going to be a great day. We're going to go partly cloudy in general. We'll have some sunshine. The winds are still going to be with us, not nearly as strong as it will be throughout the day today. But as we get into our Friday night and Saturday morning, here comes our next disturbance, a fast-moving disturbance in the upper parts of the atmosphere. That's going to bring in A, the colder weather, B, a chance for some higher elevation snow showers, mainly above 3,000 feet. Can't rule out a few flurries across the Cumberland Plateau, but looks like 1 to 2 inches across the highest peaks. So the Smokies will be the main threat from this. So no major travel concerns from the snow. But as I mentioned, it is going to be rather chillier on Saturday. We'll have an early high temperature. Temperatures fall during the afternoon, but it's only going to be in the 40s on Saturday. It's short-lived. It's a quick little blast of old man winter saying, hey, listen, folks, winter's not over yet, right? So if you want to still see some fresh snow, you got to go to the higher elevations. Look at these temperatures, though. We're going to be in the 60s today and tomorrow, but 40s with some wind chill values likely to be in the 30s most of the day on Saturday. We'll take you to the big picture weather pattern. That's coming up in just a few minutes. I'll be right back. Let's recap those weather headlines for just a moment. Increasing wind, temps, and rain through the day today. Then a mild Friday, mostly dry conditions. Friday's going to be a great day. But Saturday is going to be a cold day with a chance for some mountain snow showers. Falling temperatures throughout the day. It is going to be a rather chilly day. Old Man Whitner's saying, hey, hold on a second. It's still wintertime, my friends. Look at the cold front swinging through overnight tonight. That's going to spread into scattered showers. Here comes our next disturbance, and that's what's going to draw in the colder air as we get into our Saturday. Now, rainfall amounts just through Friday night will pick up anywhere from, say a quarter to over half an inch of rain in most locations around much of the region. So we are talking about the rain to be on the increase, but all liquid precipitation. Look at these temperatures around the region today. If you're traveling to Nashville, we're going to make it to 65. We're going to be in the 70s across parts of central and southern Alabama, even down towards Macon, Georgia, 67 degrees in Memphis. And then Friday, we're going to see some slightly cooler air settle on in, but still not bad here locally. However, Saturday, we take a dip in those temperatures. It's going to be chilly on the plateau, chilly in the mountains, and chilly in the valley locations as well. Now, when we look at those rain chances, rain ramps up as we get into our, night tonight. But when we look ahead into our Friday, it would be Friday night into Saturday morning for the most part, and then clearing skies throughout the day on Saturday. But it's going to be a process. Dry Sunday, Monday, the more wet weather returns as we get into next week. Here's our Saturday disturbance, diving in that northwesterly flow that ushers in the colder air and, yes, a little bit of moisture to produce those light snow showers. So here's how it all plays out with our future cast. We pick up our timeline Friday night. And again, the clouds will be on the increase throughout the Friday night time frame. And as we get into early Saturday, here comes that disturbance. You can see not a whole lot of moisture in the parts of Kentucky, but as it slides its way into the Tennessee Valley, that's going to bring us some light rain showers in the valley, although the atmosphere in the low levels is pretty dry. So probably is going to see some virga. That's rain evaporating before it reaches the surface. Where we will see the moisture, though, is going to be across the highest peaks of the Smokies, where we're going to pick up about 1 to 2 inches of snowfall. Look at these temperatures, though. We go from the 60s today and tomorrow down into the 40s on Saturday, and it's short-lived. We're back into the 60s and well above average next week with highs in the low 70s. A little bit more of a roller coaster ride when we're talking low temperatures. The coldest morning comes through Sunday morning with a temperature of 28 degrees, and then we warm nicely as we get into next week. But again, more moisture being added to the atmosphere, and that means more rain. Climate Prediction Center is keeping us above average all the way through the first week of March. So some nice warmer weather is on the way. Again, a quick little stint of cold air on Saturday, some mountain snow showers, and then we're going to warm up all next week. All right, let's pick up our timeline here this morning. We start off with temperatures in the 40s, but today is going to be a warm, breezy day. Rain increasing later on this evening and during the early overnight hours, but temperatures are going to top out in the mid to upper 60s. So really a nice day, maybe even a couple of pockets of low 70s around the area. So another warm and breezy, gusty day around the area. Here's what it looks like on the winds. The winds are going to be increasing from now through the noon hour. You can see how those winds by lunchtime are going to be gusting anywhere from about 25 to 30 miles per hour. Higher wind gusts across the mountains, and those winds across the mountains will really start to pick up as a cold front approaches. 3 o'clock today, it's going to be rather breezy and gusty as the kids head home from school and for the evening rush hour. Likewise, much more of the same. We'll start to see the winds relax a little bit on the plateau, but crank up across the highest peaks of the Smokies, and then the winds will relax as we get closer to midnight. That wind advisory is in effect until midnight here tonight across the highest peaks of the Smokies. The rain's going to be increasing, and so we're talking about anywhere from 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. So generally speaking, we're looking at about a 1/2 inch of rainfall. But as I mentioned, as we get into the weekend, we are talking about some chillier weather. And another disturbance on the way for Saturday. That's going to bring us maybe a couple light rain showers in the valley. We have some pretty dry air in the low levels, so I'm not expecting a whole lot there. But what we are going to see are some mountain snow showers through the day on Saturday. Maybe a few flurries across the Cumberland Plateau, 1 to 2 inches across the highest peaks of the Smokies, and that should be about the extent of it. We're going to warm up a little bit more on Sunday. A nice warm up expected next week, but more wet weather returns next week as well. So we'll be highlighting that in the next couple of days. And don't forget, you can always get the latest current conditions, day parts, futurecast, 7 days. It's all available with the East Tennessee Weather app. Download it today.
Hey folks, it's Jake from Rusty Wallace Key of Knoxville. We're kicking off the new year right. You'll save more than ever before in 2024. The price won't be the problem with deals like these. Get rates as low as 0.9%. Get $7,000 over KBB value for your trade. Plus, every new vehicle comes with Rusty's exclusive, no charge 200,000 mile warranty. And don't forget, the price won't be the problem at Rusty Wallace Key of Knoxville, I-75 at Callahan Drive.
When you're ready for replacement windows, we offer high-quality, energy-efficient windows in many styles and colors. We want to help you improve your home's curb appeal. Free in-home estimate with upfront prices. No games or gimmicks. No high-pressure sales tactics. Double hung, picture, slider, casement, and architectural shapes. We offer them all. We've got a window for every home and a window for every budget.
You're watching East Tennessee Weather. Weather when you want it.
Good morning. Have a great Thursday, everybody. It's going to be a warm and, well, breezy, gusty day around East Tennessee, especially across the mountains where we have a wind advisory. I'll talk about that here in just a moment. Showers will increase later on this evening during the early overnight hours. It's going to be dry on Friday, but here's the deal. Some changes on the way for Saturday. Falling temperatures, some light rain, and some light snow showers across the higher terrain. The mountains and the plateau may see a few flurries to 1 to 2 inches of snowfall. So the forecast for the day ahead of us today, we start off nice and mild. It feels pretty good outside this morning. We'll climb into the low 60s by lunchtime. Clouds will increase. Rain increases as we get into the evening hours. Evening commute, dinner, and bedtime, we'll start to see some rain showers. But it is going to be warm and breezy. So we do have a wind advisory for the mountains that runs until midnight tonight. The winds are going to be gusting here in the valley as well as the mountains. Now in the valley, about 20 to 30 miles per hour, but in the mountains, we're going to see those winds gusting to about 50 miles per hour or so. Now, this is going to help to boost our temperatures, though, in the low, mid, upper 60s, maybe even a few pockets of low 70s. So another beautiful day, but the clouds will be on the increase, so not nearly as much sunshine as what we saw on our Wednesday. So the clouds are on the increase, the winds on the increase. By 3 o'clock today, kids heading home from school, we're smooth sailing. No problems whatsoever. For the evening rush hour, maybe a few scattered rain showers across the western valley and the plateau, but not a ton of rain at that point. Forecast rainfall amounts all the way through 7 o'clock here tonight. You can see, going to be on the light side through 7 o'clock, but it will change after 7 o'clock tonight. As we get into our evening hours, temperatures will stay nice and mild. We're going to be in the mid-60s by 6, upper 50s by 8. Showers and maybe a few rumbles of thunder as we get into the 10 o'clock hour tonight, as temperatures begin to fall into the upper 50s, but still a nice evening ahead. We're going to walk you through the rest of that future cast, talk about how much more rainfall we could see with the storm coming through tonight, and your 3-day forecast, which indicates the cold weather we're expecting on Saturday. More on that coming up in just about 5 minutes or so.